Welcome to NAB 2015. We are back, and of course we're starting this year at the Blackmagic booth. But before we get started, we gotta introduce you guys to Ben. Ben doesn't get any camera time. He's our editor, so he's the reason that we're able to crank out this content as quick as we can to you. So say hi, Ben.
Hi, thank you for the camera time.
Yeah, all right.
And if there's bad editing, you can blame him.
Yep. And that's Sean, of course. Anyways, if you see him on the NAB show floor, say hi to him. He's part of the NextWaveDV crew. Anyways, we're at Blackmagic. Blackmagic every year has got great news to share. They've got not only new cameras, but they've got camera upgrades. So we're going to take a look at the press conference that we just were at, take a look at all the new camera options and new features that they're cranking out, and then tune in later this week because we're going to have our own hands-on interview with Blackmagic about these new cameras.
So this is what I wanted to do through fairly quickly because I can explain a bit about why we've done some of the things we've done. The pocket camera was designed for handheld use. That's what we designed it. In fact, it was designed to be very small, very handheld, and a bit of a stealth digital film camera. But the problem is that people have been putting them in drones, they've been using them remotely, they've been putting them in cars when they're shooting a scene in the car. And the difficulty is you can't see whether the camera's recording because you've kind of got your head jammed around the back trying to see if it's recording. What we actually needed to do is build a camera that had the controls on the front. Then you can see that you can hit record, you can see the tally lights on. You can tell it's recording, you can have a thing mounted in a car. But that got our thinking going further, and we thought, well, we could put a real kind of hackable connector on it and do more than just, a much better camera design. Similar, kind of product, the sensor similar, but we could build something for this. And that's the big thing that we really wanted to do. And so we've reduced the size of the camera even more, we put the controls on the front. But what's really exciting is we've got this awesome expansion pod on the side. So we've got an ultra HD, we've got a HD, sorry, it's a HD Super 16 camera with 30 stops of dynamic range. It looks really nice, and it's got manual iris settings, so you don't have the iris going all over the place. Although we are going to add some more automatic iris features to it. But so it's a really nice time-back digital film camera. It's got the tally light on the front, so you can tell it's recording when you've got them there in a car or in some other situation. And you've also got the record button on the front. But what I really love what we did is we put this expansion port on the side. You can see here is a great indication how small it is. It's a very tiny camera. You can see the tripod's bigger than the cameras. And if I move through, you can see the model aircraft have these servos. And this is the thing we were thinking about. What's a really cheap way of remote controlling a digital film camera? Well, you've got to make it small so you can hide it or put it in interesting places. But what you want to do is make it really easy to control and in fact really hack into it. And these model aircraft use these servos and they've got this PWM connection. And there's a little receiver in them, and what happens is it adjusts this servo backwards and forwards. Now we've got 4 of those on the micro cinema camera. So you plug that receiver into the camera and you can map all the camera controls across to the channels. And we've also got another type of camera control called S-Bus, which is the more sort of some of the later model ready control sets used, and that's got 18 channels with one connection. So what that lets you do is control like lens iris, or you can control focus, or you can tell the camera to stop and start recording. This camera's got a raw recorder in it, or a programmed recorder, so you don't want to just fill that media up just by trying to get your camera in position, particularly if it is on a drone. With this expansion connector, you can tell it to start recording, you can tell it to stop recording. We've got that on the front of the booth, so you can see it. But what's really fun about that is this is the most boring connector we can find. We wanted something that a $10 soldering iron and some guy just soldered up himself. We've even got a little pin on here with 5 volts on it from the battery of the camera, so you can wire a switch up and just like have a mechanical switch for recording and stop recording. But you can do all kinds of stuff, and you can do it remotely. And there's a composite video out of here. So I think it's the first camera we've done with composite video out. So we've got a full-size HDMI, but you can put the little video transmitters in. It's got all the overlays on it, the audio meters and histograms, so you can see what the camera's doing if it's coming back. You can monitor it, you can know if it's recording, and then of course, because you're recording in the camera raw, you've got incredible quality. And the sensor goes up to 30 frames a second bubble shutter, up to 60 frames a second total with rolling shutter. So you've got really very nice looking pictures. You can see the SD card recording on the side. It's got a microphone input. You can see some of the uses that you can do in a car, on action cam type situations. A lot of people use the action cams for doing these kinds of shots. The problem is that it's a consumer products, whereas this is whatever type of lens on you like, so you get much more cinematic look. All kinds of different situations. And of course we've got the drones on the front of the booth. So that'll be available in July for $9.95, and I think already from the people we've talked to, I think there's a million ideas that we can do with it. So it's going to be a really fun, crazy little camera, but I think it'll be really exciting to see what's being done with it. Similar an image sensor to the pocket cinema camera, so you can get that really nice looking stuff that we've been seeing people have been producing some wonderful music videos and television shows and all sorts of things with the camera, and this will really add to it, because you'll be able to intercut that material pretty nicely because it's a very simple sensor. So the big question, and this is a bit of a side thing, we thought, well, we've got a great chassis, what happens if we build it, could we build a studio camera out of it? So last year we did our studio camera 4K, which we've got a few down the back here, recording. So what we did is we stripped the entire inside of the camera out and put our studio camera 4K inside the chassis. There's nothing similar about these cameras at all, they're totally different, apart from the metal bracket on the front of the lens mount. But it's an Ultra HD sensor in there, it's a video sensor, not a digital film sensor. We've taken all the refrigeration and everything out, so we don't need that for a normal video camera. And the light on the front's a tally light. It's got obviously no record buttons, it doesn't record, it's got SDI connections on the side. And we can do, it's got an SDI input, so we can do all the camera control stuff that we do from the switches through. We've got one over here, and you can see if we cut to it, you actually see the tally light come on. If you guys can do that. There you go. So that's actually now filming all you guys, and we're recording that, so if anyone's got anything weird, they'll catch you. But we've got all the camera control working in there, talkback is in there because it's got a little headphone socket on. If you plug an iPhone headset in, you can talk back to the switcher guy, and it's great if you're setting the cameras up. But you could put those cameras on set, they could be hidden behind a pot, looking out of a wok as you're cooking, in a cooking show, all kinds of things. But also, if you look at the side of the camera, it's got the same expansion port, but it's got different stuff on it. We actually have the S-bus, funny enough, because it's only one connection, so we've got 18 channels of remote control. But we put B4 lens mount control on there. There's a little module we get. We've also put pen-tilt zoom out. And so the commands come in through the serial port and then come out of the expansion ports. Because it's a different camera, it's a wide camera, it's normally wide in, so there's no point having a lot of remote control stuff because you don't remote control like the micro cinema camera, which is obviously a completely free camera that's fully featured inside the camera. This one is a studio camera, so it's wide in normally, so we've got different types of expansion. So you can do the same kind of cool things and hack away. In the S-bus you can use a microcontroller with a robotic camera head. You could use an underwater housing and put, connections from to the so there it is on a remote head. The control comes out straight into the remote head because the command's coming through the serial, and so it's all self-contained. And the battery in this case is really a backup battery. There's normally it's quite power. And you can see here it is pinned down with a really big lens with a little module here that's got regulators in it that protects the lens from this voltage swings coming in. The camera's actually got, I think it's 12 to 18 or 20 volts of range. The specs on their website, but you don't want that to hit the lens, so a little regulator module there to protect the lens. But you can do that. That was one of the biggest feedback points we had last year, that people wanted to be able to add a broad, similar, like an EMG lens to our studio cameras. So we have it on this one, and you can put a monitor on there and essentially build your own studio camera because you can treat it as a camera bed. So you can see there, it's got a shot you can get with it. You can really put it up close to the action, so it's pretty exciting. Some of the uses you can use this for, and it's just pepper the set with all kinds of different studio cameras. It's really quite an exciting thing. When you have more angles, it's actually much more exciting production. They're fixed angles too, so they don't require a lot of extra staff because they're just these lots of different interesting sort of positions and shots. Now we've got a new product. That camera sort of essentially, sometimes you're going to want to put a recorder on it, so I've got us thinking about using a small monitor and a recorder. So Blackmagic Video Assist it's a video assist, but also it lets you add professional recording, and it's a HD product, so you add professional recording and monitoring. It's a nice bright screen, all beautiful on touch screen controls. Works with any SDI and HDMI camera. We've got it on the DSLR here. Well, I don't know why I use a DSLR because we use our cameras. You see a little SD card slot on the side. You see it's all nice on screen. Controls very small. A couple of batteries on the back. It'll run one battery all the way down before it uses a second battery. So you can unplug the batteries, but if you power it on and one of the batteries is lower than the other, it'll keep hitting the lowest battery. So you don't have two batteries running low. So it's a good thing. It'll help you keep changing batteries so you keep it running, because you might be recording something important. What's really good about this product too is that it is actually a 6G SDI in, so it will actually monitor Ultra HD. Because obviously the studio camera is Ultra HD. It'll download to record that in HD, but it is actually Ultra HD monitor. And you can see, you can use it for lots of different things. It's particularly great on some of the cameras if you need an extra view from the top and the screen's not facing the right way. And also it's great if you're going to record, say, HD ProRes and all, while the camera's recording RAW. So you can kind of do your job in HD because that's what your client wants, but you're not quite sure if you might need to do something better, like maybe Ultra HD or even something in film. So you can record RAW inside the camera to preserve all the 4K, and you can move on and use the HD files for the job. That'll be available in July for $4.95. Okay, so I'll move a bit quicker, so we're moving on. We've got a great new viewfinder for URSA. It's got a 3-element glass diopter, so it's beautifully accurate. It's got a full HD OLED screen. It's even got a sensor to turn it off when you're not using it, so you can really enjoy the OLED life. It's so clean. The pixels are so sharp. I mean, you can't see the pixels. So it's like using an optical viewfinder. It's adjustable with left and right eye. It's got a full 360 adjustment. It's got menus in it. It's got focus peaking and zoom. It's got even a focus chart, so you can help focus it to your eye to make sure that then, of course, you've got perfect focus through the camera. It's just really, really nice. It looks great on this. It's designed for us. And it'll be available in July 1495. So it's a really nice viewfinder. We're really happy with how it's come up. It's something we've been working on for a while. We didn't really have it last year, but we've got it now. It's really exciting. It's all magnesium, so it's really light. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, we've been working for a couple of years now on a new digital film sensor. And what we've got is, the new sensor's got, it's 4.6K, but it's 15 stops at dynamic range. It's really amazingly, I mean, we were shooting with it at night, there was some flame and everything. We were looking at the camera, we could see more detail on the camera than we could with our eye. I mean, it's better than most film stocks. So we've spent a lot of money on this, but it's just so nice. It's just, I mean, I've got a sort of telecine background, and the original cinema camera was fantastic, but that wide dynamic range is something we wanted, because obviously all the guys doing Da Vinci color needed all that range to be able to really bring out what they wanted. And it's been such a great thing having a cinema camera now to have this at 4.6K. And the great thing about 4.6K is it's enough extra resolution to make up for veil loss. But at the same time, it's not too much extra resolution. You just have all this extra file all the time that you're trying to manage because it's recording this huge file. So it's a really nice size. It's got global rolling shutter. We can run global shutter up to on URSA, so it'll run up to 120 frames a second rolling shutter. It'll run up to 60 frames a second global. So it's a little different from the 4K sensor. That 4K sensor runs all the way up to 120 global shutter. It's a bit of a compromise. You can actually turn on global rolling shutter as well. So you get 15 stops at rolling shutter and slightly less on global shutter. So you've got a bit of extra compromise to try and get both. So we're going to be introducing 2 new models of URSA, the URSA 4.6s, and both EF and PL. They'll be available in July. What we'd like to do is the upgrade is $2,000. So we've just reduced the price of the 4K lenses by $1,000. The difference is actually the cost of the upgrade. So the great thing is people getting the 4K at the moment and move up at the same price. But we'll probably have these sensors really in volume late July, early August. But we will have a certain amount of volume up until then, which we'd like to kind of more divert towards the guys upgrading the URSA. So the guys that bought the URSAs get a chance to get the upgrades first. But either way, we're hoping to get that online pretty soon. It's a wonderful sensor. So obviously, getting back to the traditional cinema camera, and we kind of talked about this a little bit last year. This camera was designed to be handheld. This is what we really designed it to be. It was, sort of like a DSLR usage case for us. But the thing that shocked us at the time is the number of people were trying to use it in other ways, like, for example, like this. And, that wasn't really the way we designed it. So we had to get to work to solving that problem for everybody. And what we've done is we've built URSA Mini, and it's taken everything we've got from URSA. It's half the frame rate. Obviously, it doesn't have all the screens and scopes and things, but what we've got is a much more portable URSA. Same sensors as URSA, so all the material in cuts. Here it is here. This is the URSA Mini with the accessory kit on it, and Peter's bringing it out with the whole thing. And it's great. I mean, it's just such a wonderful camera. It's been really fun to work on. What's also nice is the shoulder mount has the quick release in it. But if you don't add all that, you can just bolt it to the tripod. So it's got, I mean, I'll move through it, I can show you. It's got the same viewfinder as the URSA has, so it works with the same viewfinder. The same battery solutions. It's got this little, wonderful little full resolution HD screen on the side. It's very bright. It pivots around. It's got dual C fast cards, so we can record continuously, which is obviously what the current cinema camera can't do. It does up to 60 frames a second. It's also got, those 2 cards can be used in parallel if you want to record raw at high frame rates. So it's nice, they can work together. It's got 12 GSDIs, it's got the latest technology, it's got time code, and it's got reference input. So what we're seeing here is the accessory kit, which is $395. It's got the shoulder mount and the rosettes on the bottom and the handle at the top. It also comes with the extender rod, so you can move. There's a handle that comes on the side of it by default, and that's just normal rosette. So you can take the handle off and extend it down with the accessory kit on. here's an example of the body, and you can see the handle on the side. Now it's got record controls and it works with land. And so when you put that accessory kit on, you can take the handle off and move it down, but you can take the handle off and mount it to a crane or something like that as well, because it's a proper rosette. And of course, when you put the shoulder kit on, you get two more. So it's nice, you can put it on. So this camera is great, you can handhold it, flip the screen and handhold it is exactly like the current cinema camera body works. You get that same usage, but at the same time, when you put the accessory kit on, you get it on your shoulder, put it on the tripod, handhold it, back on your shoulder. Really mobile, really portable. It's all magnesium, so it's really light. The ones here we have to show are a bit heavier because they've got aluminium parts because they're prototype units, not full production units. We're in production now, but we'll be running up into late July. Everything seems to be 25 weeks these days in electronics industry for some reason. You see we've got tons of manholes on the top, tons of manholes at the bottom. You can see a better shot of the handle there. We've got really nice microphones in the front as well. When you're hand holding a camera, you don't really want a lot of microphones hanging off. It just adds to the bowl. The trick is to try and build everything in. So the original URSA philosophy was to build everything in, which we did. This one has got similar philosophy to build everything in. And because of the same sensors between the cameras, you can intercut between the two cameras. So URSA is great for the larger crews. And if you look at, well, here's some usages. You can see it's a full digital film camera. There's nothing coming about this at all. The sensor options are amazing. You've got all the same workflows and obviously PL versions if you're running higher-end feature films. And you can handhold it really easily for all that single point shooting type work. And at the same time, the thing that I'm really proud of is you can handhold it exactly the same way as a cinema camera works, which is a really big thing for me. I like that very intimate type of shooting. A lot of people bought cinema cameras purely for that, and that really kind of getting in small with it. I mean, you don't want a large crew when there's some kind of tough scene for actors to deal with. So being able to get in with very small lightweight camera is important, but then suddenly you put the rig on it and it becomes big. So it's a very kind of flexible design. It can be one thing or the other. And the other thing, of course, that's close to my heart is being able to deal with indie filmmakers and really have that sort of indie filmmaker guys coming up, and they can work with a true digital film camera. If you look at the cameras you get, this camera starts at $3,000 for the 4K 620F. It's $2,995. If you look at what you get at that, it's basically a consumer camera. It's just bigger plastic, and it looks like a professional camera. It's in a little box on the front to make it look like a filmy camera, but it's really basically a consumer camera. And it's a sort of a bland product line of and it also traps you, it holds people down. You get locked into this. Oh, I think this is like, I'm doing a wedding and I've got this thing, this plastic camera. I mean, if we can make a magnesium digital film camera with dual recorders and wide dynamic range and all these features, and a bunch of 20-year-old kids buy it and start doing indie film, and someone says to them, hey, that's a really great thing. Can I fund that and we'll get it professionally finished and we'll bring it into a post facility and really calibrate it up? All their content's fine. I mean, half the time these guys don't really quite realise what they're getting, and that's really exciting. And suddenly before you know it, they've turned into they've done some wonderful indie film. It's getting coverage, it's going all over the place, and they've made money out of it. And the industry gets bigger and there's more stories to be told. So I think this to me is the thing that always thrills me most. I mean, I love what we do. When I look at Da Vinci, it's all the Hollywood movies, and all this stuff is great. I mean, these guys are smart, exciting, they do cutting edge stuff. And then when we can bring some of that to these guys, that's just thrilling. It's very exciting for us. So I really have always liked that. So obviously, where does that sit? URSA? Well, there's differences obviously between the two. They're part of the same family. They can be obviously used together. URSA is much more for the larger crew, or someone who needs to bring the on-set monitors and all that stuff and scopes and everything with them. So the same philosophy is still there. Obviously, URSA's got more performance. It's bigger in size. So you can do 120 frames a second versus 60. That's a 10-inch screen versus a 5. URSA's got scope. It's got 3 screens actually on it, whereas the URSA's got one with the same battery solution, same viewfinder solution. They've both got 12G. You see the other angle here. Obviously got audio meters, much more user-friendly stuff. You've got a crew member on the other side of the camera. You can see what they're shooting on here. Is that screen changes to video? Obviously it doesn't have that, but much smaller. And you can see obviously this is upgradable. And I heard a few people saying, oh yeah, Blackmagic will upgrade this camera, but this is why we did this last year. We were never sure since it was going to come online. Here it is, so now you're going to have the ability to upgrade it. I think that'll be really exciting. It is user upgradable. You have to be a little careful. There is a thermal block in here, and you need a thermally, there's a little thermal pad that comes with it. So we'll have a nice video for the customers to show them exactly how to do this, because others, you don't want them to get the thermal bit wrong and underneath the camera. But it's pretty easy to do. It's just 4 bolts. So they'll be able to do that. You can see on the side there, they've both got the monitoring position, but the audio's on the top. There's balanced XLR audio that's down at the top. So you can plug the microphones down through the top. So there's the family. These are shown without the handle. The side handle comes with it. So the 4K EF, so it's 295 for the 4K EF, and the 4.6Ks are basically $2,000 more. So you see you buy the sensor type you need when you order it.
Thanks to our sponsors for making our NAB coverage possible.